Howdy, and welcome to the Feed Bandit Podcast, where we talk all things hunting and introduce you to the most innovative hunting gear and services. Here are your hosts, Jimmy Byrne and Richard Kinchlow. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit Podcast. Jimmy here, along with Richard. What's going on?
Not a mucho. How are you?
I thought you were about to burp.
I was trying to think of a summer song that involved not enjoying the summer, but the only one I could think of is that there ain't no cure for the summertime blues. You know? But I was like, well, I have the summertime blues, but for different reasons. So,
well, we'll try to at least alleviate your symptoms a little bit right now.
Nice.
You know, we'll be talking about hunting, right?
Yes,
and that's the point of the podcast. As
Oh,
we
no
always
doubt.
say, you know, listen along. You know, at least at the very least, hopefully for this 30 minutes or so that we talk,
Yeah.
we can kind of take you away from your everyday life.
God knows.
You know, put your mind back out in the field, if you will.
Yeah, what a turd fire. I mean, 2020 thus far. Of course, you know what this means. If maybe, actually, I didn't even think about this. All the suffering and the misery of 2020, maybe it'll lead to a limit of dove every time we hunt. I highly doubt that, but
well, you never know. You never know. I mean,
yeah.
I'm hoping that's the case. You know,
Yes.
I'm needing this discussion right now as well because yeah, as I texted you today, I was doing corporate compliance videos and
God.
lectures. You know, the annual compliance crap you got to do for your job sometimes. And
God, yeah.
pretty much wanted to put a bullet in my head.
Oh yeah.
Lasted about 4 hours.
Yeah. God, you should have said I can't do this because it offends me.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Oh God, it was horrible.
It's absolutely ridiculous. 2020 reminds me of a big steaming bag of mastiff poo on fire. Just an absolute crap show. Lots of dog poop on fire.
Well, I mean, as we've said before on this podcast about 2020, this year needs an enema.
Yeah. Yes. God, it's great.
Oh, jeez.
Where's the bat? I'm giving away free money. Yeah. Which, anyway, that's a great movie. I really enjoy it.
Who do you love?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I saw somewhere on YouTube that they've announced it or they're considering bringing Michael Keaton back for another Batman.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious.
Yes. Oh, he's the best.
I don't know if it's a rumor or something, but whatever. I mean, I saw it on there. I was like, oh, really? That'd be kind of neat.
He's like 87 now.
Yeah, exactly.
How much do you weigh? Oh, about 108. Oh, God, Kim Basinger she's probably approaching 300. No, she's still probably hot, though. Yeah. God, that would be awesome. Yeah. I definitely think he's the best Batman.
Oh, no question about it. Well, I don't know. I mean, Christian Bale's Batman was right up there, but it's different, right? It's more Christian Bale's is more true to the Dark Knight, you know, the comic book, but Michael Keaton's was more playful and subtle humor. So I mean, it's two different worlds, but they're both great. But I agree. Just like we grew up with Keaton, that was the best.
That's very true. Yeah, actually, I started watching Batman back when it was the '60s one. You know?
Oh well, yeah, the Adam West one.
Yeah, Adam West. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I watched it every day in junior high after getting home from off season. But
yes, yeah, it's fantastic. That was great, and I remember I used to rummage around my house looking for trinkets to, you know, that I throw up there and actually hold my weight. And of course, it'd be string, and I get this gigantic rope burn because it wouldn't hold my weight, or I was too fat to hold myself. You know how it goes.
It was like, pow, bang, boom.
Yeah. God, it's fantastic. I love it.
Oh man. Well, anyway, I don't think people tuned in to hear us talking about that stuff. Maybe they
about Batman. Yeah.
Maybe when they see the title of this episode, they're going to think, I thought I was tuning in to hear about another hunting controversy.
Yes, sir.
And which one would that be?
Well, I think that would be entitled Hunting Pigs at Night with Night Vision and or Thermal Vision. You know, there's a lot of Well, actually, I don't know that there's too much controversy. Well, okay, given it's 2020, there's a lot of, again, flaming turds out there. They probably have to have a problem with everything because they just have nothing else to worry about in their lives. I'm sure there are people. I know there are people out there that think that hunting at night, A, and then B. Well, okay, actually, you got three of them: hunting at night, hunting with thermal imaging and/or night vision scope, because there is a difference, and then hunting with oh God, get ready, oh they are 15. Oh God, be careful, folks.
You mean hunting with an assault rifle?
That's right. The black weapons. Oh, I probably can't say that either. Oh, yeah. God.
That's right.
Yeah, so this is a triple whammy.
Hey, BWM, black weapons matter.
That's right. That's right. They certainly do. So, yeah, I know that there are people out there that have probably got a problem with one or all three of these types of things. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of debate them and to talk about them and, just kind of see what we think. Me personally, from my perspective, I would be curious to know what is the difference economic wise of the damage that the pigs cause, okay, to crops and ranches and stuff like that, to the money they bring in from people out there buying all these $5,000 thermal scopes, booking all these hunts with these guides, that may not be doing anything otherwise, right? Mm-hmm. During the summer and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I would think that the crop damage still outweighs the revenue generated by, night hunting for pigs. But I bet you the,
well, I would add those two together, actually, if you think about it, right?
Right.
Because the amount of damage the pigs do to crops, that's revenue lost.
Right.
And then if you were to kind of outlaw night vision hunting or night hunting for those pigs, then you'd lose that, that amount of money in the economy as well.
Right. Right.
And you'd still have even more crop damage because those people aren't hunting it.
Yeah,
so it's compounded that way. If someone was totally against it and say they wanted to outlaw it or whatever and everything, well, then you're talking about harming farmers even more and
absolutely.
Harming us, because in the end, if there's less crops grown, then prices are higher for us to buy them. But then you're also putting people out of business, like the outfitter you just described to. Maybe that's his whole business.
Exactly.
And then you're you're less money is being put into the economy of folks buying bullets and rifles and scopes and night vision and blah 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 to do it. So I mean, it's a pretty big industry, just that alone.
Further, absolutely, it's absolutely enormous. I'll take it a step further, and I'll say that with that rancher who we were just farmer whose field's getting decimated by the pigs, chances are they probably got a lease or some sort of financial arrangement with an outfitter.
Oh yeah,
to sit there and shoot their pigs. And not only are they're getting their cake and eating it too. However that thing goes. So,
or if not with an outfitter, just a normal hunting lease, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because maybe they wouldn't be able to charge as much for certain hunters, because maybe some hunters actually want a lease with a lot of pigs so they can shoot them.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But if there's no pigs on their property and it's just maybe limited whitetail or something, maybe they can't charge as much. I don't know. There's a bunch of factors there that.
Yeah. Well, I know that there are people that will come down from like North Dakota, South Dakota, really anywhere but Texas, right? Except for Louisiana, Florida, that actually come fly down to hunt hogs, and that's kind of one of the options now. I mean, it used to be just blind and feeder, kind of like what we do, or driving around. But now it's ended up in this, helicopter hunting for pigs, which I know we've talked about, and then that's kind of led into this whole night vision thermal scope thing for pigs, which has really, really, really taken off. And then I think it's an extremely effective way of eliminating these problems. And again, like we were saying, the economics of the thing is real sound, and it's real good. The outfitter is being paid by the client, and the outfitter's money ends up going to the farmer, who can potentially use that for something else because his field's torn up. I mean, who knows?
Right.
So yeah, I think it's a great thing. Now, getting on to the topic of the thermal scopes and or night vision scopes and then the ARs, there's no secret about that the pigs have got multiple sounders per year. And the fact that they are literally one of the most perfect machines nature could ever make, because they're damn near indestructible. They're extremely fertile. They can virtually eat anything. They can survive in virtually anything. But of course, their breeding cycle, which again I think I don't know it exactly, but I know it's extremely frequent, and they're fertile very young.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Like one that's supposedly one that's born within the year, within 365 days, before the end of that year. So it's not like they can start having pigs. So it's like if you don't kill them or control them, it's an exponential increase in population. Hence the destruction of all the
it's unbelievable. Yeah, no, it's absolutely incredible. So I think the argument of using an AR-15, a semi-automatic rifle, I think is definitely just. The fact is that you get up on the field with a bunch of hogs. If your job there is to take out those animals who are destroying those fields. And by the way, I encourage you all, if you have not looked at some of these videos, go onto YouTube and check them out. I mean, you can actually see a lot of them will use the thermal scopes, and a lot of them tend to use the white hots. Okay, so the black and white is really, really hot, and you can when they use that tint, you can actually see the dirt flying up from these pigs in there looking for tubers and grubs and roots and all that kind of stuff. It's unbelievable. So using a semi-automatic rifle where you can get off multiple shots at these pigs, I think is completely justified. Every pig you kill, it is potentially saving somebody's livelihood.
Yeah. I would argue, me and my opinion of government, even though I'm a sheeple as well and follow the rules and the laws, that there are entirely too many. There are entirely too many laws, and this right here, I think, is a perfect example of why you should be able to have, number one, fully automatic rifles.
Right.
Full stop. Mm-hmm. Other than the fact that the Second Amendment gives you that right, we won't go there. But also, this is a perfect example of why you should be able to have a true silencer.
Yes.
Because just I don't see. I mean, this is one of the greatest arguments for that. It's like, especially if you watch some of those videos, like what you're talking about.
Yes.
And they show some of these fields, and there's literally 100 pigs out there. And these guys are shooting, and it's hilarious to watch because they end up let's say they shoot 10 of them, but you're not even killing enough to prevent the population growth.
Absolutely,
because they hear the rifle, and they run, and then after they run after that first shot, you got to be a pretty damn good shot to keep hitting them. You know what I mean? Even if it's like 4 of you shooting at them, you might not get, 80 of them are going to get away.
No,
anyway,
exactly.
So anyway.
And he's not joking, folks, when he says 80. Some of these videos is just unbelievable. How many of these hogs get out into these fields at night? And I think it's primarily, they're all here in Texas, primarily winter wheat fields, which are really important. Not only is the wheat important for ranchers and farmers, if they've got cattle, they can put calves on, or young cows on there. Okay, and obviously it's a good protein source for them, and it helps them get big and strong when the winter's there. So the hogs are out there tearing that up. But you can also harvest the wheat. I know Rancho Bandito just got done doing that. Just got done harvesting that wheat. So obviously, if you got pigs in there tearing it up, you're losing on both ends. So I think that having the thermal scopes, and like you say, the suppressor is, boy, that's just the perfect combination.
Yeah, at least a suppressor.
Oh,
I'm advocating for, number one, secession, of course, but then when we do that, we do not institute bans on full silencers.
Right.
That's my lobbying effort right now for this.
Right. No, it's a good one. Not a whole lot going on in this country that will distract people from your effort there. So now, even though obviously I'm obviously with you, but
hey, hold on one quick moment. Hey folks, have you ever wished that there was an easier way to find the hunting feeds, supplies, and services you need when and where you need them? If so, check out our hunter search at feedbandit.com, where you can see what hunting suppliers are in your area or are on the way to your land. Don't waste any more precious time searching Google or calling around for feed, blinds, feeders, or even outfitters. Just use our targeted search for hunters, the Feed Bandit Hunter Search, over at feedbandit.com. We'll find your feed.
I think another good argument for the thermal scopes is, again, let's talk about the, being ethical here. Not, obviously you can throw up a spotlight on these hogs, and if they're really close, get a shot, and then that's good, right? The thing that I love about the thermal scope is that it's a safety thing, in my opinion. I think it really is. It is a safety mechanism, because that thermal scope allows you to not only make a good, clean shot on these hogs, okay? Especially some of these bigger ones. I mean, if you don't hit a hog right in the ear, okay, right in the heart, and even sometimes in the heart and lung on the big ones, they're still going to go. They're still going to run.
Mm-hmm.
So with the thermal scope, it allows you to take your time and pinpoint exactly where you want to put that bullet before you squeeze the trigger. But I would also argue that it is for the safety of other things, so other creatures. I mean, for example, if you're shooting in a winter wheat field, talk about what's in the background. You'll see it. You'll see it on these videos. You've clearly see these guys that are and it kind of makes me pucker, because they're kind of threading the needle on some of these shots with some of these hogs, in between cows and stuff.
Right.
If you've got cattle or deer, or for God forbid, a homestead in the background, you want to know about it.
When I say shoot.
Yeah.
Long story, folks.
Very, very, yeah.
Inside story, I guess.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, it's I think there are so many pros for using these, that type of setup than there are not using it. While we're here, I think we can maybe talk a little bit about the difference, and I can speak about the difference because we've actually got both night vision and an actual thermal scope. My father is a pigaholic. He absolutely loves shooting pigs, and will do so until it gets too hot, which right now it's too hot. So the pigs are breathing a sigh of relief, but
good, so they can have a couple more rounds of babies.
It cools exactly. Down. Yeah, I told him, I said, Dad, your $6,000 thermal scope and all that was great. And you really gave him a good try. Here's a QB doll for your efforts. But I got bad news for you. In the long run, it's just not going to do anything, So, but now he's had both the kind of the night vision and the thermal scopes. The night vision is cool because obviously it's night vision. It kind of lights everything up, and it's the device that we had, and I don't know brands or anything like that, but it was a setup that you can put on any gun. And it basically covered your scope, and then you have this little screen, and it was really, really, really cool because you could see anything and identify, creatures and take a shot. And if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see some of the earlier videos I posted where my dad blowing away raccoons and pigs and whatnot with that setup. His problem is that that night vision is only good out to X yards, and then it obviously gets very difficult to see something. The thermal scope, you can at least tell when something is coming. So I mean, he almost kind of like a RoboCop getting up on the blind. He had his AR-25 or AR-28. I don't know. It was one of the 20 numbers, which was chambered in 7.08. That thing already weighed like 15 pounds. It was really heavy. And then he puts all this tactical scope gear on there, and the other thing he did, he bought a FLIR, little handheld scope thing. So he would scan with this little FLIR device. That cost him several $1,000s, I'm sure. He would scan with that, and then he would use his night vision when he went to shoot. Well, he eventually kind of cut out the middleman and ended up getting this $6,000 thermal scope. And let me tell you, that thing is absolutely incredible. Now, this may sound kind of sick, but there's logic to his madness. he was a little, and this is something to consider, I think. Being that he's the owner of Rancho Bandito and whatnot, and he's he's wanting to shoot all these pigs. He's wanting to naturally try to take care of the sows first before the boars. I mean, it sounds kind of sick, but it is what it is, right?
Well, I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. How can you target the women and children?
Easy.
Get some. Dry heaving. Oh God. Anyway, so he was concerned about not being able to see a lot of good definition with this thermal scope, and of course, once he ended up playing with it, he realized that was not the case. So he can really clearly tell what's out there, and he can even see sagging of the belly and all that kind of stuff. So he kind of knows who the mamas from the papas and whatnot. So he's absolutely loved it. We got some pretty good video on our YouTube channel about it. And rest assured, starting in October, you'll be seeing a lot more as he gets back after him. So, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love
they're a lot of fun if you ever get the chance to play with one.
Oh man. Well, and see, that's the thing is, we know the pigs are there, but it just gets too dark.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, so it's like, we go home, start drinking.
Oh yeah. No.
But that's.
Oh yeah.
If you have that, man, I could see myself sitting out there till 10 o'clock.
It is a game changer for sure. The problem is that when you have female companions back at the house, it causes a little bit of anger because they don't. Oh yeah. Oh, I know.
I have no problem eating by myself.
Oh yeah. No, but you know how this works.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. So Dad kind of felt the wrath a little bit there. But,
that's
yeah.
true.
And of course, he's all in the name of management, and he'd be out there doing my part. I'm like, good for you. God, what a guy on the front line out there protecting us from those horrible pigs eating all the corn.
Right.
Yeah. So.
That's funny.
Anyway.
He's a pig first responder.
Oh, he really is. So yeah, he is loving it, and of course they're up in Colorado. And I said, you should take that gun up there with you. See what those idiots feel like it or think about. I mean, yeah, no thanks. Yeah, but anyway, in conclusion, I think that the thermal hunting, the pig hunting at night, I think is just yet another diversified way for country towns and whatnot to bring in some needed revenue.
Well, and I would think, as with I would probably say most things hunting, folks who are against it probably just don't understand.
Oh yeah,
all aspects of it.
Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, you can't blame them, but on the other hand, it's like don't form an opinion until you understand the situation.
Oh, exactly.
So.
No, you're exactly right, and of course, we try to preach that and all that, and the easier said than done because especially nowadays, I feel like I'm a time bomb, about to go off, and I want to try to be understanding and not be quick to judge, but man, oh man.
Well, nowadays it's hard. It's hard. I mean, because when you're typically, what I've noticed is, I've always been I think I've always been a fairly thoughtful guy meaning thinking through something before espousing any kind of opinion about something. But now, I mean, when you see stuff going on where people are obviously totally driven in their actions by their emotions and not thinking about something, not reasoning about something.
Yep.
And it's constantly happening, or you're constantly seeing it, whether it's on the news or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, it almost acts as like it's almost like pulls me in towards like you're saying, it's like you become a time bomb yourself.
Oh yeah.
In reaction to their emotional reaction, you know what I mean?
Oh,
so it's,
yeah.
Like, I'll give you an example. I mean, every time, and I don't know that it really affects me, and I don't directly at all or anything, but I swear, every time I see a news article or I read about or I hear about another statue being torn down, the blood, blood. I mean, like, you could probably see the gas coming out of my ears.
Oh yeah.
And my eyes turning red.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it just drives me nuts.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely nuts. And like every time we go down to my my wife's office, down in uptown Dallas, and I can't help but think, and you drive down there, and there's a park down there off Turtle Creek.
Oh,
it used to be called was it Lee Park at Arlington Hall.
Oh God!
And it was called that.
You are a racist for saying that.
Well, it's just they had this beautiful, not only a statue, but they had a beautiful sign basically on like granite, and everything. It said Lee Park at Arlington Hall.
Yep.
Well, now all it says is there's a huge blank space in the first part of that to where it just says Arlington Hall.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then where the statue of Robert E. Lee on on Traveler is gone now. And that was kind of the first one that really happened back in when all this stuff started happening.
No, it made me want to vomit.
It just but see, every time I see that, just like my blood boils because of that. And then I see this all the time, and it's hilarious that they're eating their own because they're going after all statues. It doesn't matter who they are.
It doesn't matter. It's
absolutely hilarious.
And that's the thing, and it totally discredits everything they're trying to do.
Oh yeah, that's why it's people that are just driven by pure emotion and have nothing but air between the ears. Oh yeah, and it drives me absolutely insane.
Oh yeah,
so how'd you get me on the soapbox here?
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If we need to find out if human meat tastes good, because there's a lot of there is a lot of coals in this world, and we can make a lot of money.
Well, that's true, but I don't know that I'd want to eat that Soylent Green. I mean,
that's true.
They say you are what you eat, so
yeah, that's true.
Vegan,
bro. Yeah. Stupidity, and idiots, and it's getting worse. But I think it's all. I'm convinced it's all going to come back around, and it's going to be. Yeah, they'll learn, or they'll not learn, but it'll come back around. So the truth will prevail in the end. That I know. But in other news, we just real quickly, we were going to be doing the Feed Bandit feed test with with our friends at West Feeds in West, Texas, and we were going to do the Antler Max, and then we're going to put those two up against Double Down, which I think a lot of our listeners probably know exactly what Double Down is. It's kind of the protein, been around a couple of years. Apparently, it's really throwing off some really good results. So, again, our intentions of this test were to try it two places on Rancho Bandito. One where there's whitetails, black-buck antelope, and axis deer, and then put another area where there aren't so many exotics, so we can really kind of tell what the more whitetail prefer about which one they like better. So, unfortunately, we had a lot of that wet stuff that came down, and it's kind of funny. When I was about to go do this test, I got the trough out and everything. I checked my phone one last time before I poured the feed in there, and mind you, for those of you who have seen this, the Feed Bandit trough, of course, has no roof because I'm not a carpenter. And speaking of one of the legs, I mean, it's barely holding on. I mean, barely holding on. So some repairs will need to be made. But I mean, that night we got like an inch and a half of me out of nowhere. So again, it would have turned each one of those 3 bags of protein compressed together like a gigantic granola bar. So glad I did not do it. Anyway, we're going to be doing that test. See, this will air on Friday. So hopefully when you're listening to this, I will be en route to getting that done. So but we'll let it sit out there for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And we'll get the pictures. We'll move it. Maybe post some teaser pics, if you will. And then we're going to move the trough to another area. And we're going to see, what do the deer prefer? They like the Antler Max, they like Double Down, or they like West Feeds. So we'll see. And who knows? I mean, they literally the sky's the limit. They can like him equally. But we're going to conduct this test fairly, and we're just going to count up and see what they like. So
awesome.
Looking forward to doing that. Really enjoy doing these kinds of tests for folks. So obviously, I know we said a lot, but if you guys are interested, please contact us. We'll be happy to do something for you.
Yes, please do. You shoot us an email, howdy@feedbandit.com. Let us know, and we'll give you some honest feedback. And that's what we're here for. We're here for our loyal listeners and readers to kind of give them our opinion on things.
Absolutely.
For what it's worth. So
absolutely, yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else for this one. You got anything else?
I think it's about it.
You did you did great last week or the last podcast on the outro. Would you be interested in doing it again?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Not to put you on the spot.
Oh God.
Before you do it, I just want to direct people. In the meantime, we'll be talking a lot more about some of these products that we're bringing on board that we want to let y'all know about. We've had podcasts about them where we've interviewed some of their the founders of these companies and the creators of these products, but we've mentioned we have a gear page on our website, Bandit Gear and Services. We'd love for you guys, when you get a chance, to go check it out. You just go to feedbandit.com, click on the Bandit Gear and Services button. It'll take you down to that part of the page, and you can see some of the folks we brought on board, and we want to at least help you guys out. If you need some of their products or their services, you can find some deals on there on those individual product pages. Cool stuff that we really think is awesome that we think you can use while you're out hunting out in the field. For whether it be to help you plant food plots, to help you cover your face and your head while you're out there, an innovative way to do that.
Right.
If you want to feed quail, we have a solution to do that. You want to protect your protein and your protein feeders. You want to be able to just map out your property and know where things are and keep records. We have a little service online to do that. You want an amazing blind that'll last forever.
Yeah.
Or, if you want to sign up to get some cool gear every month in your mailbox, things like that. We're bringing on a lot of companies to do that. So please go check it out. Go to feedbandit.com. You can see it on the homepage, or you can just go feedbandit.com/gear, and that'll take you right to the gear page where you can see some really cool stuff. And like I said, we'll talk about some of these more individually as we do more podcasts in the future. But be sure to check it out.
Yeah, and then I'm glad you mentioned that. And something I'd like to mention is that there's a lot of folks out there that are kind of do this, and I think you're fine with what we are doing is that we actually use these products. Okay, this is not an attempt for us to just throw a whole bunch of stuff at you all and say, oh yeah, God, we use this, then put it back in our locker and never use it again. These are things that we've tried, we've used, we've talked to the people. They're good people. In most cases, a lot of them are Texans, and obviously we love supporting them.
We love supporting other people as well.
Well, of course. There's an asterisk in there, of course. But no, these are good hunting products made by people who hunt for people who hunt. Right. And especially nowadays, guys and gals, this is the time to really support those folks. So, again, you're not going to find, well, maybe a couple years from now, you'll find, hundreds of items on there. But I think it's important to know we don't just throw things on there that, we feel, we're popular. This is going to be this Feed Bandit hoodie sure is cool. So, that's not what we do here. That's not what we do. We're here for you all. We're here for the small towns that survive off of hunting and the entrepreneurs in the hunting space. So that's what we do. That's our goal.
All right. Everyone out there, have a good one and support your local feed store. Thanks for listening to the Feed Bandit podcast. If you like what we discuss on the show, be sure to sign up to our email list to get even more killer hunting ideas, tips, tricks, and exclusive deals on innovative hunting gear and services delivered straight to your inbox. Sign up over at feedbandit.com or simply by texting the word bandit to 33777. See you on the next one. And remember, support your local feed store.